Good morning, student. Welcome to the biology class. We are studying about the transportation in plant. In previous video, we are study about that transportation in plant, xylem, phloem, how does the plant absorb the water from the soil and transport to the upward direction. The food is translocated, it passed to all parts of the plant. Already we have seen in my previous video. In this video we are going to study about that some important definition which is related to the absorption of roots and absorption of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. In the last video already we have studied about that the structure of root here. Let us revise. The root is very important part of the plant because why? It fixes into the soil and it absorbs the waters and minerals from the soil. In the last video I explained about that the root have a two membrane. Outermost membrane is a cell wall and inner membrane is a cell membrane. Cell wall is a freely permeable, means all molecules are enter and exit from the cell. But is the same membrane, it is a semi-permeable membrane. It allowed only selective material which absorb from the atmosphere and transfer to the cell. One thing is that student, the plant cell is contain the large vacuole. This is too much large vacuole is present in the root here. In the vacuole, it's contain the cell sap. Cell sap. In the last video also I explained about that what is meant by cell sap. Cell sap means it contains the waters and minerals and nutrient. This is called as the cell sap. Understood? What is the contain in the cell sap? Minerals, nutrient and water. Due to the cell sap, the root exert the pressure. So it is called as the upward movement of the waters and minerals. This is called as the ascent of sap. Understood, student? Some related definition, important definition which is related to the absorption of root we are going to see in this video. See student, first is the diffusion. Diffusion, it is very important term. Due to the diffusion, plant can absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Plant can absorb the waters and minerals from soil. Diffusion means what, student? See, this is a root here. Okay, again I will draw. This is a root here. There is a soil. In the soil there is a high concentration of water. And in the root there is contains cell sap, means it contains the minerals also, means there is the low concentration of water. Means the diffusion means what? The movement of any molecule like a gas, liquid, solid from higher concentration to the lower concentration is called as a diffusion. Understood, student? In the previous class photosynthesis lesson I also taught you about that what is mean by diffusion. Means see, in the leaf there have a stomata, too much stomata. The leaf is required for the carbon dioxide photosynthesis. You know that in the last year we have studied about that details. Photosynthesis means the leaf is required carbon dioxide. As compared to the leaf, the atmosphere have a large amount of CO2. Means by the process of diffusion, the CO2, there is a higher concentration of CO2, there is the lower concentration of CO2. By the process of diffusion, movement of higher concentration to the lower concentration is called as a diffusion. Mean the diffusion, the liquid, solid, gas, all things which is move from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Understood, student? What is mean by diffusion? Diffusion means, let us revise, the movement of any molecule like gas, liquid, solid from the higher concentration to the lower concentration is called as a diffusion. Understood, student? What is the diffusion? Due to this diffusion, the plant can absorb the waters and minerals from the soil, and plant can absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Understood, student? What is the diffusion? Next definition, important definition is a osmosis. Osmosis is also very important definition. Due to this osmosis, the water molecule is absorbed from the root to the soil to the root. Osmosis means the movement of only water molecules from its region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through by semi-permeable membrane. Means see, in the root here we have seen this is the cell wall. It is the permeable membrane, means it allowed any molecule. The cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane, means there is the lower concentration of water because it contains the cell sap. Cell sap contain the minerals also. Got it? Water means there is the lower concentration of water. In the soil there is the higher concentration of water. So the movement of water molecule from higher region to the lower region, it's called as the osmosis. Got it, student? What is mean by osmosis? Osmosis means what? The movement of only water molecule from region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration is called as a osmosis. And by the process of osmosis, root can absorb the water from the soil and by send to upward movement through by the xylem vessel. Understood, student? What is mean by diffusion? What is mean by osmosis? Let us revise. Osmosis means the movement of any water molecule from its region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. It's called as osmosis. Understood, student? The last important definition which is related to the absorption of root is a active transport. It is the opposite, means see, we have seen the diffusion and osmosis both process the movement of molecule from the region of its higher concentration to the lower concentration. But in the active transport, there is a opposite to the diffusion and osmosis. It is the movement of lower concentration, there is a lower concentration, there is a higher concentration. The movement of molecule from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration, it required the energy for the plant. This process is called as the active transport. Let us see the example. Means see, student, I will show again root here. See, student, means it contains the cell sap. This is the large vacuole. It contains the cell sap, means the mineral concentration is higher in the cell sap, and there is a higher concentration of minerals in the cell sap. In the osmosis, I told you there is a higher concentration of minerals and lower concentration of water. So the osmosis, there is a lower concentration, there is a higher concentration. Then water is transferred from higher to lower. But what happened in the diffusion? It contains the cell sap, and these cell sap contain the higher concentration of minerals. And in the soil, there is the lower concentration of mineral. By the process of active transport, the minerals are transferred from movement from the region of lower concentration to the higher concentration, and it required the energy. Means by the process the plant lost the energy, because why? It absorbed the minerals from lower concentration to the higher concentration. Understood, student? How does the root absorb the minerals from the soil? By the process of active transport. And what is the definition of active transport? The movement of any molecule from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration. Understood? And it required the energy. Understood, student? What is the active transport? Let us revise the definition of active transport. Active transport means what? Active transport means what? The movement of molecule from their lower concentration to the higher concentration and required the energy is called as the active transport. And by using this process, root absorb the minerals from the soil, because root contain the high concentration of minerals as compared to the soil. So by the process of active transport, root absorb the minerals from the soil. Understood, student? By the three definition is very important for the plant to absorb the waters and minerals and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and the soil. Understood, student? In the next video I explain about that, the transpiration. More two definition is very important. It is the ascent of sap. Ascent of sap means what, student? See, ascent of sap. Ascent of sap, student, means what? The water is absorbed by the root here from the surrounding soil by the process of osmosis, and these move into the inner wall, inner cell to cell diffusion. Means, see, this is a root here. By the osmosis, water is absorbed. In that cell there is a higher concentration of water, that cell is a lower concentration of water. Then movement of water from the higher concentration to the lower concentration, these upward movement of waters and minerals is called as the ascent of sap. Understood, student? What is the ascent of sap? And another is important definition is the root here. Root pressure means the pressure which is exerted on the root due to the continuously absorption of waters and minerals from the soil and pushing to the plant upward direction. This root pressure is one of the force which contribute to ascent of sap to the stem and into the leaves. Means जो root pressure है, this pressure, the water molecule is a upward movement. The water molecules are means the ascent of sap through the stem. The force is very important to push the water molecule, minerals molecule to the higher plant, because you know that neem, peepal, coconut, this is the very tall tree, and it is very important to transport the minerals and water to upward direction due to the root pressure, which is the pressure which is exerted on the root, and due to the continuous osmosis of the water and the ascent sap is a move upward direction. Understood, student? In the next video I will explain about that, the transpiration. Thank you, student.